Guys, top of the roof. One shot. Oh, he's dead. Got him. Oh, guys. Behind me. Oh, guys, revive me. Dude, who's carrying the team here? Who's carrying
the boat?
Yo, what's up, man?
What are you doing? We're supposed to go to the gym.
Nah, man, not today. Guys, I'm dropping in. I'm in the gulag.
No. It's not who's carrying in Call of Duty. It's who's carrying the boats. This is real life, baby.
I just ain't been feeling it, man. I'm not motivated in this.
Do you think that ever stops?
Bro, that was the league play.
Get your ass up. Let's go, baby. We got the motivation. We need to stay disciplined. We're hitting the gym every Let's go. Who's going to carry the boats,
right.
baby?
I need
Who's going to carry the boats, baby?
I appreciate that, bro.
7.
Let's get there.
8. 9.
Let's hit the hill.
Let's hit the hill.
This is Danny.
This is Pike.
And this is Dual Vibes. Everybody, welcome back to the Dual Vibes podcast, season number 2, episode number 2. See how we got that? See how we got that right?
That's
right
fun,
off the
guys.
get-go.
Guys, we have not messed up. We have 2 episodes down. Number 1 and number 2 are scripted correctly.
Exactly. So I think if we just keep on this path where we review the episode from the week before, there's no way we can mess up, right?
Yeah, we'll and we'll see errors that we have in them.
It's just like if we put 50,000 on black, there's no way we lose, right?
Yeah, we should have done that last week. This way we could tell everyone. Then again,
Speaking of which, we're not going to talk too much about that, but if you guys watched the weekly betting advice for Week 18 of the NFL, guess who won one of his bets? And guess who lost all 4 of his? Am I right or am I wrong?
if he would have watched the podcast, he would understand we both won 1 and lost 3.
Did we actually? What
Yes.
was your guaranteed bet?
My guarantee was Dolphins losing.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, bro won a whopping $1.
No, it was actually $2.50.
Oh, my bad. Dude.
Anyway, you guys have to go watch that segment of our show. It's called Vibes versus Vegas. Go look it up on YouTube.
Yes,
and
it's
you'll
awesome.
See. Right now we're 1 and 3.
Yeah, 1 and 3 each. Yeah. Well, this week I'm going to be 4 and 3, and you're going to be 1 and 7.
Yeah, we'll see about that, brother.
So we're going to hop right into this. Welcome back. Next week, we have a special guest coming on here. Her name is Jessica. She owns her own salon. She also owns her own podcast, and she actually starred on HBO Max documentary. So you guys need to tune in next week for that. It's going to be an awesome episode. Very excited to have her on there.
That's going to be our first, we've had other guests and stuff like that, but this is the first one that, actually brings some value to you guys, like we talked about in that first episode.
It's player versus player, man.
Yeah, this is player versus player, all right.
And then she is also well-known, and she she has connections with another guy, and he actually has a lot of A-listers on his podcast and a lot of people that bring a lot of value. And, me and Pike talked about this in the last episode. It's more about bringing value to the podcast. So whatever you guys can sit down and learn in this podcast, benefits us. And
100%.
Yeah,
we don't want to just be boring where you guys just click on it and scroll through. We want to try to bring some value so you guys will watch it all the way through. Get those low points. So those 2, maybe 2 people, right?
Yeah.
Maybe 2 different people coming on the podcast already lined up for this year. Many more to come after that. But they both will bring value, guys. Value. So you guys will surely watch that all the way through.
Yeah, definitely tune in on that. That's going to be a great episode. Today we are going to be talking about motivation versus discipline. Which one is a lie, and why do a lot of people feel burnt out? So, obviously we got our laptops over here. We pulled some information, some historic facts, and we are actually going to be bringing in the absolute best advice about these 2 topics today. But before we get into that, this quote of the day goes hand in hand with this, topic. In order to be ballin', you have to be all in. Like, what does that do for the team, man?
We got to stop.
You knew that was coming? You knew that was coming.
It's everything. It's everything. No, it's absolutely everything, man. That's
So you reread that and then, ask me the same thing.
In order to be ballin', you got to be all in. Danny, what does that do for somebody?
Man, it's everything.
All right, 4 score, guys. 4 score. So basically, what does that actually mean? To me, is definitely if you're going to be committed to something. If you want something Make sure the mic's on. You want something to actually work out, and you want it to show that you actually care. You're gonna have to be all into it. You know, you're gonna have those hard days and long days. Put that time and effort in, and it'll pay out. All in. You gotta be all in. What about you, Danny?
100%. So balling to me, everyone wants this baller status of like clout and, posting the TikToks and their Lambos and stuff. I look past that, right? What's balling to me, right? I can successfully take care of my family, take care of my loved ones, and, provide a better life for a lot of people. So obviously with our goal on this podcast is we want to, start reaching out to charities and stuff and seeing how we can help these children that aren't so blessed like everyone on this earth, even though they are blessed for being alive.
100%.
How can we help them live a better life? Even if it's just getting them a pair of shoes. So that means a lot to some people. So in order for us to be balling in that way, we got to be all in. And that's what this podcast, Season 2, Dual Vibes Entertainment is bringing to the table, baby.
All in.
That's why we're bringing that value to this podcast. We're really going to be all in on this.
100%. 100%.
Everything.
We did adapt to a lot of changes and stuff like that. And, I feel like we're definitely a lot more all in than we were last year. I know we started out strong last year. We're starting out strong this year, but it's going to be more consistent, more flow. Definitely more fluent.
I'm glad that you said that because the motivation versus discipline, which one is a lie? I like this topic. I read it online, and Pike did, and he sent it to me. I don't really like. I don't like how it says which one is a lie because I don't think either of them are a lie, and that's why the quote of the day is what the quote of the day is because motivation versus discipline. Pike, do you think either one of those are a lie?
No, I think this topic is just honestly breaking down why each one of them are positive things and not lies. Granted, they both can have some negative values to them, but I think more so they're both positives. I don't see them being a lie at all. And
I'm going to disagree with you on that one because I don't think any of those two things bring any negative to the table.
Okay.
Because if you're 100% motivated, individual, how is that a negative? If you're a 100% disciplined individual, how is that negative? You know what I'm saying? So it's only positives, how I look at it. And, people being burnt out, I think that's more of a mindset than anything. Mm-hmm. I think, you just got to get out of that mindset like, oh, I'm burnt out. Man, just get off that couch and just go do something, man.
Because you're not going to be in no better spot by saying I'm burnt out. You ain't going to be in no better spot. You're not getting no better. You're burnt out. It doesn't really matter. Time's gone past, so you're going to sit there burnt out. You're going to try to get out of that rut. It's pointless to say I'm burnt out. I'm quitting.
Yeah, exactly. And, the video that you guys saw in the intro, by the way, we're doing those every week. I think it adds value.
They're funny. It's honestly funny.
It is pretty funny. And, so basically, like I said in the beginning of the podcast, we got, some things pulled up, some internet sources. And obviously the internet isn't always 100% correct, but that's why we,
tweak it.
Lowered our, what we search for, and we really just put it all together.
Yeah.
I love that we have this because now I feel like we can.
As we're talking, we can go back and forth to what we have pulled up, what we've typed out prior to the episode, what we talked about, and honestly, this is a lot nicer than what we were doing. So, but I don't think actually I don't know if you want to dig right into this, but like you said, how discipline and motivation, you don't see any lie in it.
No,
really. So I think I don't see any lie in it, but I can see how people find lies and no use in it.
Okay, and how's that?
So if someone is disciplined, like a lot of people are like, oh, I'm so locked in discipline. They do for months of not drinking, not going out, not partying. So I can see them getting burnt out because they're so locked in to being disciplined that they're missing out on fun. And then at the end of those couple months, they might not see the progress that they thought. They may have set their goal too high. They might not see it, and then they're just like, damn. This is all a waste of time. This is all a lie. I was disciplined for 3 months. I'm not where I should be at. This is all stupid. So I can see how people with the wrong mindset, could think it's a lie.
Yes.
I think you just need to adjust your mindset. So is it a lie? No. Can I see how people think that? Yes. Because it's not overnight. It's really not overnight. And I think that's what people need to understand.
And, one thing that we always talk about is, you get one life to live, right? So people that are setting a discipline and, setting a goal and a standard, okay, yeah, you can follow that, but what's also another thing that we should all live by? live life in moderation. Like if you want to go out and have a couple, tequila lime sodas for you, I mean, what should be stopping you from doing that?
Right.
It's not gonna make or break you. Now, if you're 10 years sober and you were an alcoholic before, and now you go and break that cycle, then yes, you are not disciplined. So that is you breaking that cycle. But once again, you could be living life in moderation.
Yeah.
And some people get that twisted. It's like, oh, well, you're allowing the alcohol to control you. No, I mean, it does add fun, but if everyone around you's drinking and it's gonna make them happy, you're just having some tequila lime soda for you, there's nothing wrong with it.
I think it's situational. I think that's a big thing.
Exactly.
It's situational.
Life in
People that
moderation.
have issues with drinking or different habits, maybe they should stay away from it. And you don't need to drink to have fun by any means. But like other discipline, like, oh, I'm not spending money for 6 months. I'm locked in saving money to buy a house. 6 months down the road, you ain't got enough to buy a house, but you didn't do anything fun, so now you're mad about it. Like it's not necessarily true. At least you're closer to that goal than you were. But moderation, save some, spend some. You got to enjoy life. You don't know when it's going to be over. So in moderation, and it's situational.
Like a nuclear bomb could go off tomorrow, no one knows, and then it's just over
Exactly.
like that.
So that's why you guys got to tune into these podcasts before they're gone.
Yeah, and then that's why you got to praise the Lord. So basically, going like, let's talk about this for a second.
Why did you just do that?
So Pike.
Why did you just tap?
No, so one big thing about drinking, like he was saying, if you don't know how to control yourself, this and that. Pike used to be really bad about it.
Whoa.
No, come on. We're gonna be speaking some facts around
We can
here.
speak facts. I've opened up about this and I've gotten better. So like I know.
He has gotten dude. I don't even have to worry about when me and Pike go out no more.
There's actually the last time we went out, and we're getting off topic a little bit. A couple times ago before we went out, I think I was the more moderator than you were.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
that one guy, you know what I'm talking about? No speaking of English.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
So I was more of like, hey, we ain't gonna do that. We ain't doing nothing. And he was more the instigator. Not even that he was instigating. He was just like not caring. So he was just having fun. But yes, no, I went through a rough patch, and I wasn't the best person to drink around.
Yeah, it was just I was being daddy.
Don't say that. No.
I was being daddy.
I want you to bleep that out, honestly, but you don't have to. But don't ever say that. You're not my daddy, first of all.
I'm sorry, Bubba.
No, but he was definitely. I would not know my limit, and then when I don't know my limit, I get to a certain point where I don't care about what I'm doing. I'm very belligerent and just like starting problems for no reason. And although not all those are for no reason, I didn't appreciate disrespect.
Yep.
For anyone that was in our little circle. So even if it was with your brother, someone shoved him off a table like a group of kids. I was like, I don't give a fuck if there's 20 of you guys. So I wasn't all there, but. There was times I started it myself, but I don't do that no more. I've definitely came a long way.
Yeah, he's definitely calmed it down. And
Yeah.
Now
Growth.
maybe I need to calm down.
But it's moderation, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know what the limit was. I didn't have discipline for what I was doing, and I would just go out and just act out. And I'm thankful to have like friends like this around that kept me safe. So you got to know your circle.
T-Ham. I remember that night.
Honestly, yeah, she came and picked us up, and like that was couldn't thank her enough for that. But just knowing what you can and can't do.
Orange juice is so good.
Yeah, it
so
is.
let's go ahead and spark into this. That's kind of ironic that I said that. So motivation and discipline. What I think about that. I think motivation is the spark and discipline is the engine that keeps the car running. So starting versus continuing. Motivation without the discipline is big dreams and consistent action. Discipline without motivation means burnt out, resentment, and quitting. So with the motivation comes the discipline. Mm-hmm. So, and with the discipline comes the motivation, because you're never going to motivate yourself to stay disciplined and then stop, because then it wouldn't be motivation. You're not going to have all this discipline without motivation, because they just don't tie in. That was pretty good. I might be a motivational speaker tomorrow.
It might be. I mean, I don't know. If someone needs to hear something like positive about themselves, or positive and keep them going, this might be the podcast for them.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, it's as simple as that. I think motivation definitely carries discipline. Discipline, vice versa, carries motivation. You can use both of them. When you feel like you're not motivated, that discipline's going to kick in. And then when you feel like you're not disciplined enough, that motivation is going to get you back on track to stay disciplined. So,
facts.
It's straight to the point.
So motivation is emotional and discipline is behavior. Motivation helps you get excited. helps you get started. And the discipline is what keeps it going when the motivation fades. So we can tie this into a real life, thing. When we work so much and we feel burnt out,
100%. I feel that sometimes, especially through holidays.
The motivation kind of goes away. It's like,
Take a week off.
I can definitely just sit on this couch and watch Dual Vibes Entertainment. No, I'm going to watch Dual Vibes Entertainment, but then I'm going to get my ass up, stick to my discipline plan, and go bang out that gym. Go bang out that carport I need to put in. I'm going to go bang out that bathroom I need to remodel.
I'm going to go bang out the next podcast idea.
Okay, I thought you were going somewhere else with that.
Nope.
So I'm so glad you didn't do that.
Staying on topic.
Stay on topic.
Because that is a real thing, you know what I'm saying? This video might just look like a video. Who cares? It's just a video. You guys are sitting there talking. But we have a full-time job. We have other stuff going on in our life. If we didn't stay motivated and we didn't stay disciplined, these videos would not come out on time. They would not be all together. They wouldn't be any more progress than what we already have. So, we are disciplined and we are motivated to do better, even with how tired we are with work and stuff. You just have to find that purpose to do it. And that's the biggest thing. We have purpose. We have a reason why we're doing this.
Exactly.
Find a purpose, and I promise you it'll push you through everything you need to.
And I know there's someone out here that needs to hear this today. I'm going to get some historic facts behind why motivation and discipline go hand in hand. During the Roman Empire, 27 BC to 476 AD, the motivation was the glory, the land, the citizenship. The discipline was the standardized military routines. And let me go all in on this.
We're taking his laptop next week.
Roman soldiers trained daily even during peacetime. And peacetime was, hey, let's go night-night. No, let's get up. Let's get ready for these guys to come and attack us. They marched up to 20 miles a day carrying 70-plus pounds of gear. No, and not the gear that you shoot up your veins, the gear that you put on your back. Hey. Right? Because who's going to carry the boats? Motivation came from rewards. Discipline came from the strict structure. So, with this being said, Rome conquered not because soldiers were more motivated, but because they were more disciplined. And I love that.
Okay.
Did you need to hear that today?
Yeah, that was good.
The Roman Empire, why they stood up, and they are forever legends in the history book.
That's good.
Is because of motivation and discipline.
That's good.
Do you want to hear another one?
No, I didn't have a quote like that, but I'm glad you had one.
The samurai of Japan. Did you ever hear about that one?
No, but it makes sense.
Okay.
Samurais are very disciplined.
What about the NASA and the moon landing?
We don't know if that's real.
Yeah, we're not going to get into that. But
not,
what about the
actually? I think we're going back to the moon. If I read it correctly a couple days ago, it said we're planning on going back to the moon. Way off topic, but
so we are going to need to keep an eye on that. Maybe we'll do a live stream and we're watching the sky and we will analyze what is going on.
See
in
if
the
it's
sky.
real or not. See if it glitches because we don't know. We don't know if that's real or not.
So we'll go one more. Possibly one of the best NBA players to ever play the game besides
Michael
LeBron
Jordan.
and Michael Jordan, right? Michael Jordan, the Chicago Bulls from the 80s and the 90s. Motivation was the competition, the greatness. Discipline was a relentless practice, routines. Jordan practiced harder than teammates even after championships. Who was in the gym taking 50 free throws after the game? Not any of them. Jordan. Hey, Jordan. Gatorade.
Michael Jordan will go down as one of the best players ever to play basketball, arguably the best player, obviously, because of his devotion.
He changed the game just like Curry.
100%.
And Jordan's motivation made him great. Discipline made him unstoppable. So that's what I'm getting at,
good.
guys.
Yeah, that's good.
Just made him unstoppable.
Yeah, I agree.
So, Pike, now that we talked about discipline and motivation,
Yeah.
why would people ever get the feeling of getting burnt out?
Why would they get that feeling? They
Yes.
don't see results. I think being burnt out is just really applying yourself, doing it consistently. And, it can be from being tired. It can be from you don't see progress in what you're doing, or you lose focus. And you're just, burnt out because you don't know that next step you need to take. So I think if you have a straight path, I'm not saying there's not going to be bumps in it, but as long as you have a straight path, understand what your goal is, and you have the purpose, I think burnt out is just a small stepping stone. To be honest with you.
And I'm going to tie this in with Dual Vibes Entertainment back to season 1 with the podcast. I just think people are lazy and weak. I think we got lazy and weak
100%.
during midway through and towards the end of the podcast. And we were really trying to find that spark to keep this engine running.
Yeah.
You see where I'm going with this, man? I'm doing so good right now.
Glaze yourself.
I feel like people don't have the mental capacity to deal with all real life or real world problems, or real life problems, I guess. So, like, yes, everyone's got stuff going on, but you have to find that upper edge on how you're going to get through that, okay? So, I don't have 6 milli Zens in my back pocket. I need to go buy some. I just solved the problem. Some people wouldn't have the mental capacity to go get the 6 milli Zens.
They just use excuses? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, they would use excuses like, that's too far of a drive. No. Put an upper deck in and get after it, okay?
Okay.
I don't know why I said that. Somebody clip that. Somebody clip that. Chat, clip that.
Okay.
So another thing that people could be feeling burnt out nowadays, they're flooded with the motivation, but starved of actual meaning, kind of like what you were saying. Historically, it came from survival, honor, faith, and duty.
Okay.
So here I am. I've never served in the active military. I got a couple friends out there. God bless the soldiers. I think everybody should have to go through at least boot camp. I think it would teach them a lot about motivation.
Someone
and discipline.
said that.
No, I didn't. I didn't look at any upper
No, a
sources.
celebrity
It's just me.
said they think everyone should go through boot camp, like military, just to learn discipline. And a celebrity did say that. I can look it up.
I think it would help a lot just because of the sole fact. My buddies have told me about what goes on in boot camp, and it really is. I mean, if you guys have watched the Diamond Gym guys, like, credit to you guys. I would love to be on there. If you guys ever find us, please invite us out and we will come. Like, that would be an awesome thing. I would love to go run 5 hills, 6 hills, 7 hills, and be pushed to my absolute limit. Because I don't know if I've ever pushed myself to that kind of limit, Mike.
I don't think I have either. I don't even know if I could. I mean, I could. I can do anything I put my mind to.
See, that's weak.
And if that's
weak.
something that I put my mind to, I'm going to do it. So I like to take myself out of that one, actually. I could do it. Like, there's nothing going to stop me. Legit, as long as I'm physically able to, there's nothing going to stop me. That's
Facts.
the mindset you need to have.
I like that.
Being burnt out, I can't find it on here, but if I do find it, we'll tag that in there. But being burnt out, this is something that came up. Being burnt out isn't a sign to stop, and this is a big thing that Dual Vibes went through. We were burnt out, obviously going through holidays and stuff like that with the jobs that we do have. It can get busy. It gets crazy. It gets exhausting mentally. So being burnt out isn't a sign that you should stop. It's a sign you need to change how you're moving. That's exactly what we did. We got out of holidays. We're like, we need to make this better. We had an idea to do it, and then we really went through with it. Like, we were exhausted at the end of the year. But guess what? We got off work. We finished up what we needed to in our personal life. We came in here and built a whole new studio. So you just got to move differently and then find something that excites you and reignites that flame under what you're doing and why you're doing it. So,
And in order to be balling, you got to be all in. So I feel like Pike nowadays, because we've touched on this in some podcasts on season 1, I feel like we rely a lot on social media to keep us going. Short-term effect on the brain.
Yeah.
What is that called? Dopamine, right?
Yeah.
We look for that dopamine rush when we're watching that TikTok, that YouTube short, Instagram reel, Snapchat story. Like, oh, this guy's out here in Miami. Why can't I be in Miami? Okay, well, they're in Miami because they probably booked an Airbnb for a night. They probably used a Hopper app to get $425 off a hotel. Shout out Hopper app.
we did that. We stayed in a grand-ass hotel. That was insane.
It's awesome.
Absolutely insane.
Just shows there's levels.
Yeah, there is. It's like crazy. People were staying there, pulling up a Ferrari, C8s, and everything. We just pull up in our normal car, and we're like, damn. The chauffeur's like, key, please. And we're like, you ain't jacking us. And they're like, no, we're chauffeurs. Or we're valet.
Yeah,
we're like, oh,
we're valet.
All right, my bad. But that's just how it works. Dwight Howard, by the way, said that recently. He said he thinks every American should complete a year worth of military service to learn discipline. He said that a couple weeks ago in one of his interviews, just to show discipline because...
I didn't even know that, by the way, guys.
But, like, the youth and everything like that, just showing discipline. Not saying, like, a lot of people using, like... there's a lot of dumb people out there on the internet. There really is, and they blow up from it. Not saying they're not doing great things, but they could use some discipline.
Yeah,
They'd probably be
facts.
in better places in longevity. Long term, when they're older, they would have money left over. In long term, they won't be in, like... court for things they did in the past, stuff like that. So I think discipline would fall greatly with them. But
So, like, the dopamine rush that we get when we watch, like, a motivational TikTok, like, that might
Yeah.
make us get up and go to the gym. But is that motivation, discipline going to carry over to the next day? Probably not, unless we see another TikTok saying we're a lazy fuck and we need to get off the couch and we need to go hit the gym. So that's personally why I deleted all socials. Obviously, we still have the podcast running, but, that's not really affecting my dopamine.
Somewhere locked into. This is to benefit us. This isn't a negative thing.
So I'm not saying social media is a bad thing. Social media is a great tool. It can get you in a lot of great places. But you can't really rely on that to be your dopamine rush to get you up and get you going. You got to find that inner self that want to go be motivated and disciplined to go do something.
What is your motivation in doing this podcast?
My motivation in doing this podcast is obviously what we've been talking about for a long time. Mm-hmm. It's, going out and serving the community. I think it's a big thing that, people that are more blessed and are wealthy should give back to the people that are struggling, because you never know what someone's going through. And actually, someone just told me this the other day. Big mentor of mine, she said, yeah, you might have went through the same thing that someone else has went through, but you have never felt what that person felt. So that goes a long way. A death in the family could be a lot different for you and another person. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So, you never know what's going on that other side of that person. So we should always, give that person that space, give that person that motivation, give that person the will to want to keep going. And that's kind of like what I see with this podcast. That's the motivation. It's giving back. It's making people smile. It's giving people the purpose to watch us.
Agreed. Yeah, and it might light a fire for someone to do something more than they're doing now. Motivation.
Even if you go start a podcast and you do this for 50 years and you get 5 views, that is 5 people that genuinely have watched you and you've probably made a difference on.
Absolutely. You made an impact on their life, and that's what we're doing. I think we impact some people. It might not be a lot, but we do impact some people. They enjoy watching us for whatever reason it is, whether it is to make fun of us or to watch us for, like, actual positive feedback or like positivity in their life. It's still something. So we're doing what we need to do.
Facts. So how do you think the Romans, got up and got to work? Do you think it was pre-workout, or do you think they just had the self-will to just get up and go do something?
I'm pretty sure they had a ruler that came in and said, you're going to do this work or you're going to die.
Yeah, well, maybe that's what we need.
No, I'm not going to lie. That might be good. If you got a text every morning saying, get out of bed, get to work on time, or we're going to show up and put you in a cell, they might show up.
I'm going to refrain from that because that's just not right. But
that's motivation.
Yes. So, obviously, a scoop of pre-workout does a lot for you, but when you start taking 2, 3, 4, 5 scoops of that pre-workout, that's just killing your dopamine glands and
it's killing your natural
will to do stuff,
yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
Dopamine.
Yeah.
You're relying on that chemical substance to go inside of your blood veins, and you're like, okay, I have to work out or pre-workout. Dude, just get up, go walk on the treadmill for 10 minutes. Once you get that blood flowing, baby, you're going to be ready to go.
Yeah, find that natural dopamine hit. Whether it's retiring your family, doing better for your community, doing better for yourself and your family, just find the natural dopamine hit.
So, we set out some historic facts. I just pulled up some surveys with the burnout and extremely common in the workforce. 76 of employees report experiencing burnt out at work at least sometimes, with 28% saying they feel it very often or always. That math doesn't add up, but whatever. And then it says Gen Z and younger generations are most affected by this. And
I think they're lazy.
I think that just ties into what we were saying, the dopamine rush from social media and stuff like that.
I think people nowadays are just getting more lazier as it goes. They want stuff handed to them, or they want it to happen so fast. If they don't see that progress or that achievement in the first 2 weeks they're doing it, they just die off it, and it kills their motivation and dopamine rush, as he's saying. So I think people just need to be more consistent, and they need to lock into it. Shit does not happen overnight. I promise you that. We're 54 weeks into this, and this isn't taking off. Not blowing us up, but we're staying consistent.
Yes. I do think like the economy and stuff has some stuff to tie on with this. Like I feel like things are expensive. It's going down. But you know, just the amount of people that are here that don't have a job, you know, for whatever reason, they can't find a well-paying job, whether they didn't pursue a career or
They went down the wrong career.
exactly, and then just stuff being more expensive than it is. I feel like that does allow people to be more burnt out.
Yeah.
But once again, that's just lighting the fire inside of you and saying, I can't be tired.
Yeah. Just keep in mind, it's never too late. You're on your own timeline. If you're not there yet and another 25-year-old, 30-year-old is, doesn't mean you can't be there at 35 or past that person at 35. You're on your own timeline. So regardless of what you see online, just stay motivated because God's got a plan for you. Just stay focused.
You know, I don't know about women, but most men don't hit their like real time prime until they're 35.
I did not know that.
So yeah, that's a
I got a
common
couple
fact.
years.
Yeah, you still got
6 years.
2 years left.
You're funny.
I got about 13. So
No, you don't. Did you forget?
I'll be 26.
If you guys didn't know, this is actually dropping. This podcast would drop, I think, a couple days before you turn 26.
5 days before I turn 26.
He passes the 25. He passes the quarter of a quarter century mark in 5 days.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy to think about. So I think we've touched on everything that we wanted to touch on. Pike, do you want to, throw anything else out there, man?
No, I just want everyone to stay focused, stay locked in. Don't quit on something just because you feel like you're overwhelmed. Stay focused. I promise it'll pay off. Just keep going.
Use that motivation to stay disciplined is the biggest thing. And the quote of the day, in order to be balling, you have to be all in. Guys, this is Danny.
This is Pike.
And this is Dual Vibes.